Back to another episode of Muddy River Catfishing. Today I want to talk to you guys about something called WD-40. I've talked to quite a few fishermen who they swear up and down that WD-40 is a magic fish attractant and that they put it on their bait and that it always catches some bigger, better fish. And I've never fished with WD-40 before, but I've heard it from a lot of different people. So I looked it up on the internet, and there was some statements saying that it was made from fish oil. So, which to me would make sense. Of course, it's going to attract fish if it's made from fish oil. But then I took it a step further and I called the 1-800 number on the can itself, and I asked them personally about it. And I said, hey, look, I'm a fisherman. I've heard a lot about other fishermen using WD-40 as a fish attractant. What does WD-40 have to say about that? And he specifically told me that there is I guess you call it a myth, that it's made from fish oil, and it's not. WD-40 is not made from fish oil. It's a petroleum-based product. So that raised my second question. I said, well, if it's a petroleum-based product, is it harmful to the environment if it's used as a fish attractant? And his answer was, in small amounts, in a large body of water, it's probably not going to be really too harmful. But that their research has no proof that it is a fish attractant in any way, shape, or form. So, having said all that and giving you a little bit of an insight on WD-40, I want to test it out. I want to see if it attracts fish. I know if you put it on a bait, there's a chance that the bait itself may be attracting the fish and not the actual WD-40. So what I'm going to do today is I went down and I bought just a sponge, regular sponge that you wash your car with, can of WD-40. And I'm going to set up a few yo-yos up along the river here with just a sponge and WD-40 for bait sprayed into it, and we'll come back later on and check them out and see if there's anything on the lines or if they've even been disturbed. I'm very curious to see what the results of this are going to be, so let's get started. So I'm just going to cut a little cube of this sponge. I'd say that's a fair size. I've already got a yo-yo rigged up here. I'm just going to put it on my hook. That should work, huh? Let's add a little WD-40 to it. Make sure it's nice and saturated. Okay. Drop it in. Alright, so that's the first one set up. I'm going to go upstream and set up a few more, and I'll get back to you with some progress. We'll check these yo-yos on the way back down. Alright, so I'm off to check my yo-yos that I set out with the WD-40 earlier this morning. Got one right here. Looks pretty quiet. The trigger's still set. It was still set. But the trigger was still set when I got here. It looked untouched. And there's the sponge. It's just got some moss. So nothing on that yo-yo. I've got one more just down the way. Alright. So no bites on that one. Obviously the trigger the trigger was still set. So let's go check the next one. I set these yo-yos with the WD-40 spray in areas that I know have a lot of fish. Here's the other one, and the trigger is still set. As you can see there, the trigger's still set on this one. There's your sponge. Obviously no bites. So as far as my experiment goes, WD-40 did not work for me to catch me any kind of fish, or even so much as to trigger a strike. Like I said, there are other people who swear by it. I personally won't use it. I don't like to use anything that's not natural. And a petroleum-based substance dumped into the rivers and the lakes is not something that I particularly enjoy doing. I did it this time just for a mere demonstration. So, if you have any questions about it and you want to call yourself, look on a can of WD-40. They got the 1-800 number there. Let's see if I have that can here still. They've got a website. It's It's www.wd40.com, or you can call the safety hotline. It's the number I called, 1-888-324-7596. So that's my conclusion for you guys as far as WD-40 is concerned for fish attractant. So as always, you guys take care, be careful on the water, and don't be using any pollutants out there. So until next time, we'll see you.